Hi, everyone. We are Raina, Isabella, Crystal, and Victoria. We were hired for Miss Helen. She is a 9-year-old girl with Down syndrome. Her parents hired us because right now she is homeschooled and they are wanting her to actually be able to go into public school and be able to enroll in PE classes and other courses, but be able to go to school on her own without them or any extra assistance. At the moment, Helen is unable to walk, dress, or eat on her own. She does need assistance by both of her parents. Uh, so, with that, she has low motivation and she gives up very easily. So, our goal in the next couple months to get her ready to go to school and be by on her own and have a good self esteem is we want her to be able to walk unassisted, increase her fine motor skills so she'll be able to eat and dress herself and be able to go into classes without needing too much help. She's especially with her PE courses and being able to write or use forks and spoons when she eats.
And we assessed her through these tests. For the 6-minute walk test, we timed her for 6 minutes and see how far she could walk. She was able to walk 10 yards assisted, but she stopped frequently. For the gait symmetry analysis, we see how she would walk and to see if it was symmetric or asymmetric. And she was asymmetric with left side being weaker. For the time to up and go test, we have her sitting down, and then we start the timer and we see how long it takes her to get up and walk 3 meters, which was 3 minutes and 46 minutes. For the Purdue pegboard test, we time her and see how many pegs she can put into the holes on the board in the picture above. And it's right hand she was able to do 5, left hand 3, and both hands 6. For the Berg balance scale, it is used to determine a patient's ability or inability to safely balance during tasks. And her score was 18, which means she's a huge fall risk. And for observational gait analysis, we saw how she would walk assisted, and we noticed that she had very little to no arm movement, short strides, and her angle of her feet were pointed outwards.
So for the 7 concepts for Helen to work on, we have balance, whole and part practice, movement accuracy, reaction time, augmented feedback, Fitts law, and attention multitasking. For the first one, balance. To improve Helen's balance, we'll use the following activities and drills. The first one was walking in water, hydrotherapy. This will allow Helen to learn to walk on her own without putting stress on her body and gain confidence to walk outside the water. The second one is hands and knees crawling. This will allow Helen to gain strength in her arms and legs and learn to control her hips. This will also teach her to maintain balance while learning to multitask with her arms and legs. The last one is cruising. It's walking sideways. This will include our client holding onto a rail and walking sideways step by step. This will increase muscles on the outsides of her legs. And we have video to show the hydrotherapy she'll do.
Booking a family vacation in a Verbo means leaving all the craziness behind. Well, maybe not all of it. Crazy feels good when it has room to spread out in a vacation home on the beach.
Our next concept is whole and part practice. The main focus part practices that we will be focusing on is time duration and Helen standing to brush her teeth, and also her learning to eat with a spoon and fork. For timing duration, by timing Helen's walking to a short distance, such as from her bedroom to her bathroom, unassisted, will help us determine what to focus on and what specific difficulties she has with her motion and movements with walking. So we know the order to develop the skills necessary for her to walk fully unassisted or with her walking wings successfully. Stand and brush teeth. Since our client Helen is able to stand on her own without assistance, next teaching her the process of how to brush her teeth would not only be helpful for her routine, but also effective for her learning to gain proper control and coordination when doing motor dexterity tasks. And then eating with a spoon and fork. Helen's consistent manipulation of using objects with her hands will help her improve her motor skills as a whole more effectively and faster in order to meet the 2-month duration period.
For movement accuracy, we have a few exercises and games for her to play. Our first one was chair squats, and this is because as time and as she increases in her leg muscles, we will be able to increase the difficulty for her. We'll use the chair at first and be able to hold her and help her learn how to do the chair squat, and then with time, as she gets better, she'll gain more strength in her core and her legs, and then we can remove the chair, still holding her, but then eventually be able to have her just do it on her own without us assisting her and without the chair. The ladder drills, we thought this was a great exercise for her to increase her hand and feet coordination, especially for her to be in PE. We want her to have the agility and the endurance to continue through a whole PE class. The perfection board game, we thought this would be really good for her hands and be able to get the fine motor skills to grab the small pieces and fit them in to the correct spaces. So with the timer, we'll be able to increase difficulty with that on her also. And the more that she gets, the more we can be more positive with her and give her positive feedback for her to want to keep doing it and to increase her self-esteem. And with reaction time, we came up with a couple. Table tennis, we found, is a great game. She might enjoy it as a game, but it's also a good exercise. She'll be able to have motor hand skills where she'll be able to grip, serve, and the reception techniques for table tennis. It'll help her increase her motor dexterity so that she's going to be able to dress herself and do things there at school with pencils, eating, the fork and the spoons. Jumping jacks, we thought this would be an easy exercise for her to be able to also increase her muscular strength in her legs, core, and her arms. The piggy bank is just going to be a little game for her to also find her movements with her hands and be able to start buttoning her clothing, anything small. We'll have her start with grabbing the toy coins or buttons, puzzle pieces, but as she grabs them, she'll just learn to start grabbing them with her thumb up and have that fine motor skill to be able to have her motor dexterity and everything be fine for her to be in school and participate in all activities.
And for some feedback, we need to encourage her and give her feedback to improve walking since she tends to give up easily. So we will tell her the errors that she has made while walking so she knows what she's doing wrong, but we will also tell her the correct aspects of what she's doing right when she's walking so we can encourage her and give her confidence. We will also give her feedback on her performance so she knows what she's doing right and so she can understand so she can do it herself. And we will also give her qualitative information and being descriptive of her performance so she knows what she's doing in detail. And then for the Fitz law, she needs improvement on muscular movement for walking and with hand coordination. So she will improve these things by performing the following drills. For central pattern generator, we will have her sitting in a sitting position in a chair. And once she gets up and balance, we will have her move one limb at a time in 10-second intervals using a cane or something to support her so she can regain individual mobility. And for prehension, we will have her reach for different objects varying in size so she can work on her grasping. And whenever she picks them up, we'll have her move her in different locations to work on her gross motor skills in her hand. And for central pattern generator, again, we will have someone assist her waist to give her support, and we'll have her practice her arm movement in coordination with her leg movement to gain a rhythmic gait movement to where it's normal.
The last one is attention and multitasking. This will help Helen achieve normal daily tasks and be included in PE at her new school. She will do this by performing the following activities. The first one is shape and coloring sorting or color sorting. This drill for our client will use this activity to increase their concentration by having an assortment of colored blocks mixed, and they will have to sort them out while gradually increasing concepts associated such as color and shape to sort. The second one is kinetic Play-Doh activity. This activity, Helen will have Play-Doh and molds of shapes or objects, and she will be told to fill the mold and make shapes out of it. This will improve her attention, plus help increase her mobility in her arms and hands. The last one is matching memory game. This activity for Helen will practice memory by having cards that have pictures of objects and animals in sets of twos mixed up and face down. She will turn cards around and try matching them by remembering what each card was.
For our first article, the role of Special Olympics program on developing motor and social skills for individuals with Down syndrome. Information was researched on motor development and physical fitness in 30 Down syndrome individuals, both male and female, over a duration of 5 months using a physical activity circuit for evaluation. The research resulted in understanding these programs are of importance to help Down syndrome individuals become more self-sufficient. This applies to our client, Helen, who is needing to prepare for school in 2 months because the 30 participants showed significant improvements in their motor skill development, as well as their abilities can be improved if given the proper guidance, procedures, and time needed in order to do so. This article will help my group develop to create a proper instructional plan to allow her to progress significantly over a 2-month span. For our second article, the effectiveness of physical therapy in developing the basic motor skills in children who have Down syndrome. An evaluation was done on 5 children diagnosed with Down syndrome between the ages of 4 and 6 years old, broken down into 4 stages using the gross motor function measure. Considering our client Helen and her age, 9 years old, this is a supportive article in the process we will take in order for her to be fully ready for school and gym class within 2 months, with an appropriate approach of a set goal, clear demonstration, and understanding of Helen's goal, as well as using repetition of steps or movements to help her successfully reach her goal.
For the post-assessment, we use the same test as the pre-assessment. The 6-minute walk test, she went 30 yards unassisted with 2 stops total. For the gait symmetry analysis, she was symmetric on her left and right sides, the left side significantly stronger. The time up and go test, it took her 32.5 seconds. The Purdue pegboard test, her right hand, she got 9, her left hand 8, and both hands 12. The Berg balance scale, she had a total score of 34, and for the observational gait analysis, there was a significant increase in arm movement, normal length strides, and the feet are angled slightly while walking. And then in conclusion, Helen was assessed in the end by taking the same tests as the pre-assessment to see if there was a change. The concepts helped Helen increase her gross and fine motor skills, and after 2 months, she was able to meet her parents' goals. She can walk unassisted, get dressed, feed herself, brush her teeth all by herself, as well as she gained confidence in herself and has motivation. And she was able to attend school.